Joining me is the former Deputy Prime Minister and Nationals MP Barnaby Joyce, who moved the private members bill. The government looks like they're happy to have this debate every Monday, if you want to have it.
Well, I think that's good, Kieran, and I appreciate that opportunity to get some transparency through this. Look, I must admit, just on one issue, I'm a little bit perturbed about the lack of curiosity by the Fourth Estate and such things as capacity investment scheme. Who's getting paid these secret agreements? How much are they getting in these secret agreements? What return are they getting on these secret agreements? And seeing it's coming from the taxpayer, why don't we know about these secret agreements?
So every Monday, your private members bill to scrap net zero. If the government keeps putting up a couple of speakers, private members bill time, and you're happy to have it every week, every sitting week.
Absolutely. I think it's really important. This is incredibly important. See, what we have, I know the sort of the nuance of what you're saying is aren't you outrageous doing that? No,
I'm not saying that.
No. I did watch the previous interviews. So,
with who?
The former national, Mr. McGoran. My head's exploding.
And Joel
outrageous. Yeah,
I'm not saying you're outrageous. I know you're outrageous.
Well, rather be outrageous than boring. Yeah. But the thing is, they don't seem to understand the absolute fury and anger and that is palpable in regional areas. How people, they literally, not figuratively, crying, just saying, you are destroying my life. And this is outrageous.
And you think that the politics of this are heading in your direction. If you look at the events at the weekend, the Country Liberal Party have voted against net zero. But then at the weekend, the LNP jumped on board.
New South Wales
to scrap net zero.
South Australian Libs, West Australian Libs. Where the rank and file is on this, I believe, is different to where Parliament House is on this. And where the street is on this is different to where Parliament House is on this. And what it reminds me very much of is the voice debate, where virtue abounded in this building, but once you got out the door, I went, that's crazy. And people are seeing it more and more. We've had record insolvencies in this nation. Even in Canberra this morning, I was talking to businesses that said, we just can't afford the power.
But instead of
just can't go on.
But instead of saying we want to scrap net zero, why don't, as Joel Fitzgibbons says, your old mate, he said on the program earlier, why don't they go to where the government is falling short of some of those targets and they're not going to meet this, and this?
Because it's like saying we've got a different path to jump off the same cliff. We don't need an inquiry. You don't need an inquiry to sort of chop off your arm or remove both healthy kidneys. This net zero, if you believe in net zero, it's a situation which brings the demolition of our industrial base. We have the lowest manufacturing now of the OECD. We have a cost of living crisis. We are putting people into their cars. We have record insolvencies in small business. And this is on the merry path to net zero, which, of course, in here, it's marvellous. You don't pay for the lights. I don't pay for the phone. You don't pay for, I don't know, you probably get paid well. I don't have to pay for my car. It's a wonderful place. I can make a lot of sense out of net zero here. But if I'm running a business and having to pay for the power bill, or I've been put out of my house because I can't afford the power, or we have transmission lines going all over your property in your house and surrounded by intermittent power precincts, and then having to think that a billionaire is lining their pocket with the returns from this, but you can't see them because they're secret. What? Is there any other solution but to get out of net zero?
When you...
what colour is that, by the way?
That's red, Senator. So you don't have to worry about that anymore. You used to, but not anymore. But I want to ask you about the position with the coalition more broadly, because the Libs obviously have got a different set of challenges to the Nats. Do you see a scenario where the Nats could say, we're out?
No, I'm not here to talk...
And the Libs...
I'm not here to talk on behalf of the Nats. I'm not here to talk on behalf of the dynamics politics. I am absolutely laser-like focused with so many others in this, because it's not about me. This is not Barnaby's bill. This is a bill that I just happen to be the author of, but it's in concurrence with so many other members of Parliament to repeal net zero. That's the number one thing. It's a repeal of net zero bill. And this is the issue we're focused on. See, what happens, people out there will get furious. They say, so you're worried about the nuances and dynamics inside Parliament House while the transmission lines are being built over my property, why I can't afford my power bill, why my business is going broke, and you're worried about how you're going to feel in Parliament House.
Yeah, that's fair enough. But you look at what's happened with the government's battery scheme since the election. You've got tens of thousands of people buying into that in suburban areas.
See, this is
and a strong support for
good luck to them.
further reductions in emissions, as you saw in the poll.
Net zero is not going to ban them from buying batteries. It's not going to ban them from putting in solar on their roof. It's not about that. It's not outlawing intermittent power or solar panels on people's roofs. It's about saying the path of this nation going down something where the majority of the globe is not going, where the majority of the global economy is not going, where China's not going. I mean, they'll give sort of a statement about it, but they don't do it, where the United States is getting out of, where Russia was never part of, where Indonesia's not part of, where India's not part of, where Africa's not part of it, where Southeast Asia's not part of it, where basically South America's not part of it, where New Zealand's out of it. What are we going to achieve, Kieran? What can this possibly achieve except self-immolation?
Barnaby Joyce, thanks. And I agree with you. I think it's much better to be...
You heard it first.
...outrageous.
He thanks me. He agrees with me. Kieran does not believe in net zero.
It'd be much better to be outrageous and boring, isn't it? I agree with that. That's the bit I agree with. Appreciate that, Barnaby Joyce. Thanks for your time.